Aquaman 59, Kelly Sue DeConnick writing, of course, with Robson Roca on the art. This starts off with Aquaman barreling into Orm's new kingdom. I can't remember where he is exactly. Because he's there to accuse him of having something to do with Andy's kidnapping, which I have to admit I'd kind of forgotten about because it'd been such a long time since the last issue.
Oh yeah, no.
That it took a second to realize.
So we've had a couple of weeks back now, and some issues have fared better than others in terms of remembering things.
Yeah.
I felt this one suffered a lot in my memory compared to things.
And it's not because I've been really enjoying the story, and I think the last issue was solid from what I remember. I remember liking it.
I remember vaguely liking it less than you two did, the last one.
That's fair.
But I don't remember being like, it being bad by any means. For whatever reason, it obviously didn't stick in my memory as well as some other things that we read around that time. This
opening is really fun though, because Aquaman literally just storms into the city with a school of sharks, like going absolutely, forgive the term here, apeshit, because I should think of something fishy. But he just comes in and like the sharks.
Is it still school when it's sharks, or has it become a swarm?
Well, it's a frenzy because you get feeding frenzies. Yeah. So
whatever. It's a lot of sharks.
It's a large gathering. I agree.
I love when Aquaman weaponizes sea creatures.
Yeah, but he's especially sort of like vicious here because he makes the sharks like disarm the soldiers that are around. Yeah. He jumps in. He has the sharks come after. Dolphin's already there, of course, because Dolphin, if you remember, she kind of get roped
She's in with this group.
Yeah, but the other guy who was sort of saying, "Hey, no, Orm's doing a lot of good. He's feeding people equally, and it's going to treat you better than Ninth Stride." All that kind of came flooding back as they were going through it. And Orm, this is the thing, like Orm actually seems quite genuine here, where he tries to shake his hand and he's like, I have nothing to do with this, I am a father myself now, to the point where I almost believed him. I almost did. To the point where I'm annoyed that he is behind it, not in a way that I think it's poorly written, just in the way, damn it, Kelly Sue, you got me.
Well, because I want to believe that since what was it, Forever Evil, where he got his family with his stepkid and whatnot, like, oh no, Orm's a changed man, and clearly no, he's just moved on to some sneakier stuff. He's just not out in the open about it as much.
No, don't get me wrong, he does smirk at the end when he realizes that this happening kind of weakens his like Aquaman's image, and it weakens maybe the current like throne of Atlantis and all that. So yeah, he's not. I still took the end of him. Okay, you know what? I can be happy about the effects that this might cause in terms of the public image. But
yeah, that's when he's saying, "Oh yeah, the Atlanteans might reconsider who cares for their heir. That they might not want someone so easily provoked." And he's like, this could work out all right.
So despite the fact that he's the most obvious suspect, the little twist that the person who's got Andy at the end comes and sort of answers to him is like, oh, okay, you know what? That was more effective than it had any right to be.
Yeah, but and to me too, is this something that just fell in Orm's lap, or is it something he set into motion?
Set into motion, definitely.
Seems like it.
Because when she reports back, he's like, "Have you done it?" And the errand. Did you take care of it? And she's like, "Yeah, I did. I can do hard things." So he definitely was an order from him.
Yeah. And meanwhile, back in Amnesty Bay, Callie and that are trying to figure out how to find the kid. Aqualad's there, and he wants to help, and they actually take Callie out on a boat, and there's a brief moment as well before that with his mother, where she's kind of like apologizing for who his father is, and so on. And Jackson's kind of saying it's okay, it's not your fault, kind of thing.
She's still Zebellian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just making sure, because again, that's a thing that gets. I can't remember when exactly it happened. Was that in Teen Titans?
She has to be for him to have his powers.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
just double checking.
So I actually really like the stuff where they're on the boat and they're like basically excavating like the falling mech, and they're getting a piece of it because they want the tech to like help them find where Andy might be.
They want his grandpa because he was the best. He could find shipwrecks better than anybody. It was just like he had an innate sense of it, and if his AI is the same, then they'll be able to help. So I did like that, because he's trying to find a tie to his father's side.
Even just the imagery, there's just stuff about them being out there on the boat. It was giving me like Jaws vibes of them being on this little boat out in the ocean, and not that was about excavating stuff, obviously, but just that I was getting. It was just some fun visuals. I think what I respect about this run is that even though this isn't quite as uniquely weird as the first arc that Kelly Sue did, it still feels like it's doing different things in terms of Aquaman. Because the whole thing that's built into here is that the AI that's based on his grandfather essentially tells him that you need Black Manta's help to find the kid. So the cliffhanger of the issue is Jackson going to Black Manta, and Black Manta basically saying, "My dad want to help you. Why do I care about this kid?"
Yeah,
listen for me.
I don't think it's as interesting as, like you say, the first arc or even the, the big monster stuff that we had before. I think this is less appealing. I think Manta has consistently been the weakest part of this run. So this has me not concerned, but just inherently less excited.
Well,
I think going forward.
I think that's a little bit unfair though, because Manta's inclusion up until this point has been tied so heavily to the tie-in stuff with
You're the villain.
You're the villain, yeah. This is maybe the first chance we're actually going to get of this being its own thing with Kelly Sue just doing what she wants to do with Aqualad. And
that's true, but I think despite that, it still has to prove itself that it can do good Manta stuff now, rather than me coming in from a neutral position and just being excited to see Manta. It's got to overcome that, even though I acknowledge that. Yeah, no, it was you're the villain tying bullshit that no one really wanted to do, I'm sure. But yeah. It's still there, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I still think Kelly Sue handled it as well as possible, but I like that the underlying thing in this run since Arthur's came back is family dynamics and how they all fit together. Whether it's Arthur and Orm, his daughter, with Mera in Atlantis and Volko, and now Jackson and Manta, and then you factor in all the gods and their lineage. That whole was that the first arc where they fought the sea and the salt.
Yeah,
with Arthur. That goes back to family dynamics. So I feel like the lens that Kelly Sue's looking through is through that family. So of course we're gonna get some take on Manta here, So I like it. I think him showing up, like, it did make me groan, but I was like, okay, so we're running Manta back, and I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, my reaction to it wasn't negative. I think it was set up well enough throughout the issue, because the AI says something like, you're going to have to do something, you're not really going to like this, what the advice I'm about to give you.
I want to say, it wasn't that my reaction was negative, but more just it wasn't enthusiastic about seeing it either. It wasn't like, I'm excited to see this. I was more like, okay then. But
what's funny to me though is this idea that, like, Aqualad has to get his help to find Aquaman's kid. That to me is what stuck out at the ending of this feeling different, is that it's not just doing the same Black Manta story again that we've seen before. Because Aquaman as a book is sometimes levied with, and quite rightly, frankly, that sometimes it just sort of regurgitates the same, Atlantis is politically unrest and doesn't like the surface world. Like, how often does it focus on those elements? And I think this run so far has done a good job of balancing all the various aspects of Aquaman without just divulging back into that. And I'm sure it'll be reset at some point, but at least right now, giving Aquaman a daughter and then extending how that affects all these other characters around them does feel like a new ground to explore that hasn't been done. At least I've not read it before in Aquaman, so it feels fresh in that sense to me, which I'm pleased for. So yeah, and the art's good, of course. But sometimes when it's the same artist, issue to issue, we don't mention it as much. But I did find myself thinking this was quite pretty most of the time. So
that's pretty good.
I will say there was a point. I think it was with the some of the Jackson stuff that I actually, for a page or two, thought there was a second artist on the book, and obviously there's not, because the credits are at the end, so I didn't know for sure at that point. But it just looked a little bit rougher around that area that I thought maybe there was a second artist. It was the only time I felt it.
All right, Matt, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give this an 8.
Cool. Connor?
It's a 7 from me.
Yeah, I agree with Matt with the 8. I think it was a solid 8 for me.